Aston Villa 2, West Bromwich Albion 2. Aston Villa score a late minute equaliser to salvage a draw. Um, I was going into this game thinking that West Brom are going to do us, because they're actually the informed team going into this. And I just think it would be one of those results where they end up skanking a win. And to be fair, for nearly 45 minutes, it really did look like it was going to happen. I really couldn't believe that we were actually going to lose the game. Considering although they were in form, it's still a team that are in the relegation, the bottom three, that on paper you should be beaten. Um, and then luckily out of nowhere, Davis comes in, finally gets a goal after 54 or something league games since the 2017-18 season. Which is a very long time, but very good on him. It deserves way more minutes, but we'll get into that. And Villa salvage draw, but overall, I still think it's unacceptable. Unacceptable yet again. Um, I think there's a lot of things that need to be pointed out tonight. I think mainly for me, it's Smith. I thought team news coming out, obviously, it was a little bit, because obviously Barkley and Elmo was playing, even though we wanted to see the likes of Kane Kez to get a go. And obviously Barkley had not been performing at all as of late. So it's really shocking there, but obviously Villa start off really strong in the first 10 minutes, getting that penalty from Ross Barkley. And El Ghazi burying that to give us 1-0 up. And then about 10 minutes later, it gets cancelled on for a really bloody soft penalty. I don't even think Konzu did anything wrong with that penalty. I just think he was absolutely poor referee. But obviously, West Brom get the penalty and Pereira scores that. And it just felt like then West Brom were in control, really. It just didn't feel like we were getting a real grasp into the game. And then second half, straight away 2 minutes, Ezra Konsa makes a really unfortunate mistake. Diagana puts them ahead 2-1 after a Ming's own goal. And from there on out, we just absolutely crap. We looked rubbish. Passes were not being made. We just felt aimless at times. But then as the second half went on, we were starting to create more and more chances, and it did feel like we should be really at this point getting that equaliser. And then it takes about 73 minutes to make the first sub, which is Jacob Ramsey for Douglas Luiz. It's alright, didn't think Douglas Luiz was having a bad game. I do think there's one player that should have been bloody put on or taken off. And then he makes an incredibly weird substitution in Barkley for Davis, who I just thought Barkley was having a really good game. Compared to how he's been playing the past few weeks. I thought it'd be really weird. I thought you would have taken off Bertrand Traore because he's been absolutely rubbish. And then he brings on Wesley, who admittedly needs time to come back into it, but you only give him 4 minutes for then Bertrand Traore, and I would say, really? And then obviously in the last minute of the game, a really poor bit of conversation between Johnson and Barley, and Davis is there, able to just run in, take the opportunity, and tap it in, and Villa ultimately come out with a draw. But I've already said this on Twitter, if you want to go follow us there. I just don't think it's good enough. And, on paper, really, we should have beaten these. I know they were in form, but it's still a team that's in the bottom three. And it's really disappointing to see that, I think personally, I just don't see where we're meant to go with Smith now. I really am starting to worry, and I know a lot of people are saying in Twitter in the comments, so don't stop back chatting saying that you didn't think it, because we all probably would have been thinking it. Martinez made some really bloody good saves tonight. I thought defensively Mings and Konza just weren't at it today. I thought Tonga for me is probably the man of the match. I thought he was absolutely solid. Really putting in some lovely crosses and just really doing what El Mohammedi should have been, or what we consider El Mohammedi is good at in his crossing, and even he was rubbish at that. So I really can't see him saying, I actually would have been honest, would have liked seeing Kessler tonight. Midfield, I thought Douglas Luiz, as I said, he wasn't having a bad game. I didn't personally think that it was contributing much. I actually think there is someone much worse on the pitch. Barkley, I thought had a really much better game. A lot more passes. Feels like there was a little bit more confidence going for him tonight. And then we come on to McKean. I am losing my mind with McGinn. I'm really struggling to feel anything positive about McGinn right now, because he's really pissing me off. I don't know what he has to do to not be subbed off. I thought he was absolutely dreadful in that game. he's been like it for so long, and I understand he cost 2 million. He's had a really good debut season, but what's he really done much else? Since that debut season, he's been a shadow of his former self. I just think it's really bloody annoying to watch him every week on the pitch. I thought he should have been bloody subbed off. I don't know what he has to do. But I think for me, this season, the most disappointing player has got to be John McGinn. He just looks like another number on the field. And then obviously the wide players, like El Ghazi was doing pretty well. Traore, absolutely rubbish. Really does readdress this and why we need some more players in that wider position. Then Ollie Watkins, some good holder play. But really not putting much of a threat on Sam Johnston. And ultimately, I don't get why. I think next game, Davis should be starting over Traore now. I think Traore's had enough chances and isn't doing it. I think Jacob Ramsey, I'd like to see him get dropped, but he's never going to do it. I'd like to see Jacob Ramsey play a bit more, and I'd like to see Wesley, if he's going to give him a chance, give some more minutes. I'd like to see Kane Case. There's nothing, we're not playing for anything else. You might as well go with the youngsters. I don't understand what he's trying to weigh out for. You know, I mean, you say you need Jack Grealish to win this game, but it's almost obvious that he's not going to play now because you're saving him for the Euros. So why not just go and play some youngsters? You know, give them a chance, and we'll just go again next season. But I understand, you know, you still want to go for that win. You want to finish top 10. Let's face it, we haven't been playing really this good since Boxing Day or at all. It's just so frustrating to watch. But as I said, I think it's a hard one for me to say because I know the result isn't bad. I know it's probably a fair result. But just for me, just on paper, you see West Brom in the bottom three, and it's a team that we should be beating with the players that we have, with the quality we have. And it's just poor. I think Smith absolutely mayhem tonight. I've already said this. I think next season you give him 10 games, depending on where we finish this season. If we don't finish under the top 10 games next season. If we are not in a position where we are looking comfortable mid-table or top 8, I'd say it's time to go on because I just don't see where we're meant to go ahead with him. And I just don't feel like, personally, that we're just going to win anything or just really be something with Dean Smith. So I'm really concerned about where we're going there. But overall, I don't think it's a bad result tonight, just something that I would have liked to have personally seen us win just because of where they are in the table. But that's my so much reaction after some Villa 2 West Bromwich Derby 2. Leave your comments on what you thought. But without further ado, I've been Ben of the Villa with the pride of Villa. See you later, boys.